Hello, everyone. So we had a good Zoom meeting, and apparently I forgot to hit the record button. So I'm going to quickly go over what the meeting was. So thank you for all those who were able to make it, and this way, those who did get there and were able to hear everything and need to hear it again, um, you'll be able to still get what you got, and those who weren't able to make it, you'll see what you missed. And so we're going to be talking about annotated bibliographies and the ins and outs real quick. I'm doing this while it's still fresh in my mind, hopefully not missing anything. So an annotated bibliography is simply like an expanded works cited, where you're going to first say what your essay is about, why it was interesting to you, and what you hope to prove. This annotated bibliography that we're looking at here is one that's for a master's program, so it's going to be a lot larger than what you would do, but it still has these same essential components. Here you notice that everything is double spaced, and I'm going to show you in Microsoft and in Google Docs how to do that. And I'm going to actually undo it first. So I have everything selected, and in order to have everything done correctly, these dots here in Microsoft, they're more paragraph options. They're your friend. Everything is here. Line spacing, 2. Okay, that's double spaced. Also, in the paragraph options, you should check this. And you notice these things aren't set, and they need to be. Well, okay. So my before spacing needs to be 0. My after spacing needs to be 0. My line spacing needs to be double. That is what it needs to be. And I say, okay, and that will fix all of my spacing. This should be, your title should be centered. You could find that in Microsoft Word with your text alignment button. Centered. Your first paragraph needs to be indented a 1/2 inch. I'm going to undo it to show you how to do it. So I have 2 options. I can hit Tab. That's one option. In hitting Tab, you'll see that this little thing right here moves in by 1/2 inch. So I'm going to move it back, and that sets it to 0. But if I hit Tab at the beginning of the line, it automatically assumes it. Okay, if I do another paragraph, which you won't be, by the way, this is good for your essays, then that will go in by 1/2 inch. Your citation things need to have a special indent. I'm going to undo that indent. And show you how to do it. So let's do it this way. So I undid my indent. A lot of people are having theirs looking like this. Okay? At least in the pre version. And if I want this to be done properly, I go to these dots, more paragraph options, special indent. This says none. I want it to be hanging. If I click hanging indent, then it will indent it properly. But the problem here is it's not in the right place. So in order to get it to the right place, I go back to my paragraph options. And the before text needs to be set to 0. Hit OK. And then I'm good. I'm golden. This is what each of your entries should look like. And they need to be in alphabetical order. Here I have Altschuler as my first author, and Anderson is my second author. They both start with A, so then I go to the next letter. N comes after L, so that one will go second. You also notice that it's author's last name, comma, first name. There's a middle initial for this author, and then a period. The article, or the web page, goes inside of quotes. And then the journal or magazine or web page where it's found will be in italics. Because this is a journal, it has a volume number and an edition number, and it has a year. All those things go into place with commas between. JSTOR or EBSCO, I think that's what it is, we'll look at it down below, gets italicized because that is containing where this journal was found with this article, and then you need a URL. With the URLs, don't ever let it replace your URL with anything else. We'll see that in Google Docs. Of course, we're going to look at all these things in Google Docs as well. Your paragraphs need to have no indent at all. So for your indent, it should have none, no indent at all. Now, here we have EB SEO host. That gets italicized just like the JSTORs. In each of these paragraphs, I'm expressing what the article is about and what the article hopes to do and how I could possibly use it. You'll see that I have a citation in mind. Don't do that. This was for a master's essay, and I needed, from my professor's request, to express what I planned on using from that thing directly. You're not being asked to do that. You're being asked just to describe how you think you use it in your own language. Now, by the way, you're allowed to use the word I, me, my throughout the annotated bibliography in appropriate places, like in the opening, like what your essay will be about and how you can use your things. Okay, as much as you like, as long as you are expressing what the article is about. So this is that's how you do it. Now, to get to your margin, a lot of people are missing this. What's in your margin is called your header. And in your header, just double click above your first line. Notice I don't have any enters above this line. I don't. And that will get you in there. And you just make sure that you are aligned to the right. You have your last name, space, and for Microsoft, it's page numbers, and you just choose it to the right side. Now, to look at these things in Google Docs, it's somewhat easier. Let's go backwards. Let's start off with our header. Same deal. Double click. Now, if I'm not able to get into my header, let me remove these things. Okay, notice right there, I went to the right. I want to align, to the left. I want to align to the right. Click Options, Page Numbers. That's where it is. I forgot to say that in our meeting together, for those of you doing Google Docs, that this is where your page numbers go. Click it. Always start at 1. Hit Apply, you're good to go. Also, your controls for double spacing are found right here. Line and paragraph spacing, double. Your alignment button is right here. So this needs to be aligned to the left, and that is. This needs to be, my title needs to be centered, and yes, you need a title. So now for my indentation, same deal. If I have words there and I hit tab, you're going to see this little thing jump right there. It's telling me that I have my indent sent right, and it says it's at 1/2 inch if I click on it, and that's exactly where you want it to be. However, for these here, in order to make this happen, your hanging indent, the place where you go to is Format, Align and Indent, Indentation Options. You want to choose hanging. If you choose first line, it will look like a regular paragraph for a regular essay. That's how you do it for your essays. But you want hanging, and I always put a 0 in front of it because I don't want to accidentally hit 5. I've seen that happen before, missing the point. So 0.5, I hit Apply, and then it looks proper. Google Docs will ask you, replace URL with its title. Answer is always no. Do not. Everything else is the same. So you go entry, expressing all about that article you're going to use. Next one, expressing about how you're going to use that article, etc. And you do that for every single one, and you'll be doing that 5 times for your essay. Now, if you have more than one author, you use the last name, comma, first name, and then a comma, the word and then the next author, you put Ansgar Allen, in this case, is the name of the second author. You just put it first name and last name like you normally would. If you have more than 2 authors, it's Bojason Emily, comma, et al, like that, and others. And that's what you would put in your citation if you were citing the author in your in-text citation. If you only have 2, you put Bojason and Allen. If you have more than 2, you put Boyesen et al. No comma is even necessary, I think, but I cannot recall right now, so don't even quote me on it. That's what you need to know for the ins and outs of annotated bibliographies. Now, I think I covered all the formatting of that. Let's talk about the sources. How you get the sources. How do you get this information? Yes, you can use bibliography makers like citation makers, but you don't have to if you get it from the Sinclair Library Database. I got this at the Sinclair Library Database. And there is this button right here. It's called the Cite button. You click it, and you want to make sure to choose MLA formatting right there. It'll put it in MLA formatting. You copy it to your clipboard. I'm going to close that. I'm going to first start off with my Google Docs, and I'm going to pretend that I'm adding this to my annotated bibliography. Okay, I'm hitting enter, and then I'm hitting paste. Now I can go edit, and I have two choices in Google Docs. I can paste, or here it's not giving me an option to paste without formatting. Sometimes it does. So I'm just going to hit paste, and it is automatically formatted, except Google Docs does a stupid thing. Because I pasted it, it moved my indent. I don't want that. So, format, align and indent, indentation options, make that a 0, make this a 0.5, and hit apply. And now everything is exactly as it should be. And if I were using this, I would actually then go and I would type out how this article was usable for me in this essay. If I'm doing this in Microsoft Word, I'm going to go to the bottom. I'm going to get rid of it because this is from the example of when I did the meeting. You see it doesn't have the formatting there. So if I just say paste text only, okay, it's going to make it double spaced. I'm going to highlight it, go to my 3 dots. I'm going to go to my special indent. I'm going to say hanging, and it will do it for me. Now, I lost some of my italics. So I have to make sure to italicize the things that need to be italicized, which would be the EBSCO host and the name of the journal or article or the magazine where it came from. Everything else should be fine. Now, that is how you do that. Now, if you don't have a cite button or your citation is wrong, because you have to check it, then by all means, you should know how to fix it. So take a look at the examples that are presented to you. And out of those examples in the annotated bibliographies that you first looked at, the last one, the fourth one, is the one that is formatted correctly. I'm not saying it's the strongest in its descriptions per se, but as far as formatting goes, it's formatted correctly. And the reason why formatting is important is that when your formatting is wrong, it makes something hard to read, and it makes annotated bibliographies impossible to read. And the amount of points for the formatting is very, very great in this and the next assignments. Annotated bibliography and that. It's so important. That being said, you need to make sure to upload, I made an announcement about it, but upload your annotated bibliography to your printout, to the thing that you copy and paste on your discussion, so then people can look at the formatting, because you're meant to peer review that as well. So make sure to upload your copy of it onto the discussion area for people to peer review with.